We're going to go see Avengers. Reaction and review. I promise, no spoilers coming up. The SirWillow pins are in. I got those for you. And also when and where I'm going to be doing meet and greets. Hold on, we got a bunch in this episode. We're getting a bite to eat. We've got 40 minutes till showtime with them. Going to go see Avengers. Yeah, today is Avengers show day. Finally, it's opening weekend. I never see a movie opening weekend. Why am I saying finally? But we are excited. You can tell the excitement is just overwhelming there. Amber at least has the Marvel gear on. I didn't even do that. I've just got my Dr. Pooh. Looking forward to the movie. We'll give you our impressions right afterwards, and then we'll do a quick sit-down talk about what we liked and what we didn't, without spoilers. No spoilers. Don't spoil everything. Don't spoil the Avengers. Joseph, don't spoil the Avengers. Okay, so we've come out. My son's still in the restroom. You can see a couple people still kind of drifting out of the theater. Wow.
It was really good.
Really good. Fitting conclusion. Lots of laughter. Several spots of tears. I don't want to give any spoilers, but probably come see it again. It probably won't wait till it's on Blu-ray to come see it again. It was that good. They did a very good job building up to the climax. Yeah. There's other people here waiting. So they got a big no spoilers though. But yeah, it was really, really good. Okay, my son, I guess, got stuck. What were you saying, Amber? Oh.
It's hard to come to reactions to say that aren't spoilers.
Yep. Okay, so what'd you think? No spoilers.
I don't know yet. I need a process.
Positive processing?
I don't know yet. I need a process.
There were a couple minor nitpicky little things I might have had, but overall I thought it was a very fitting conclusion. It's definitely a conclusion. That is one thing that's very clear, I would say. Is this the final? But anyways, we're gonna go get dinner. We're hungry after sitting for 3 hours. Food's arrived here with Chick-fil-A. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we're gonna eat and then try to process. So now you two have had a chance to process a little bit. No. Okay. Can you say anything else?
If Infinity War was a 10, maybe I might give this like a 7.8.
So you didn't like this as much as Infinity War?
I don't know if I did.
I did. I thought it was a very fitting conclusion.
I'd say that.
Okay, so you say it's a fitting conclusion. What do you think, Amber?
I think that it was really good. I think that some of the plot holes in Infinity War they just didn't bother to address. But
Okay.
I think that they did the characters really well. And they did the development really well.
Mm-hmm. I will say there are a couple characters I thought I would see more of that I didn't see as much of. So that fair. And there were a couple things at the ending that did surprise me a bit. Definitely we're seeing one, like I said, I'm going to probably try and see again in the theater.
There were definitely a couple moments where I wanted to keep crying.
Yes, the times you were supposed to cry, everybody cried. And most of the laugh moments, everybody laughed. So
There was one cry moment. I'm pretty sure someone laughed. I don't think that was supposed to happen.
well, and yeah, none of us even got up into 3 hours. So just make sure you only snack before you go in and take your time. Anyways, I'll probably talk more a little bit. You're worn out. It will emotionally drain you. I'm in my office now. Had a little bit of time to process the movie. And my son had to head back up to his house up in Springfield, and my daughter's back home, not feeling real good, but she made it through all 3 hours. Just wanted to give a few more thoughts here, and then I've got this box here I want to open up, and then I got a couple other quick announcements about upcoming opportunities where I will be at different parks. But just a very interesting movie. It does leave open a couple of spots where you're kind of thinking, okay, based on how does this happen, how does that affect that, and what happens to them? So there are definitely a couple spots where you're kind of left, when you start thinking about scratching your head a little bit, well, wait a minute, what about that? And what happens to that character now? How that kind of changes it. So there are a few things that way. I thought one of the things they did very wonderfully was they gave several characters opportunities to kind of wrap up and come to closure with some things in their past. Several things that had been kind of left open and out there, and they were able to bring closure to them and give the characters themselves an opportunity as the character to feel closure. So that was really kind of neat. You know, a lot of very neat moments. There were a couple of moments that you could see coming, that you knew they were coming, had a good idea what was going to happen, and yet you still were sitting there going, that was really cool. Really liked that. That was awesome. There's several very touching moments throughout the movies. Yeah, it feels like two movies all wrapped up in one. There's so much in it. Several times you cry. It was interesting because we were at a big IMaX movie. If you can see an IMaX, see it in IMAX. We saw it in IMAX 3D. The 3D I don't think made as big a deal for us, but I would have definitely wanted to see an IMAX the first time. And there were a few spots where you could hear the whole theater, and it was a pretty good-sized theater. And you could hear almost everybody kind of sniffling and snuffling a little bit. And then at the laughter moments, those were definitely powerful moments where you could hear most of the people laughing along with them. So it was really kind of neat that way to hear the whole theater get into it. The only thing I would caution is if you have not seen all the movies, or if you've got a friend who hasn't, don't bring them to this movie without at least being aware of what was going on. My daughter told me she was sitting next to a couple girls, and apparently one of the girls had not seen several of the movies because the other girl was having to lean over and whisper to her the whole time as to who this character was and what they were doing and what that was. And don't do that. Don't be that person. There are some very good short recaps on YouTube. If you or a friend of yours doesn't know what everything is before they see the movie, at least watch a recap so you're not having to explain in the middle of it what's going on. Keep in mind, it is a 3-hour-long movie. We got a snack about an hour beforehand with just a very small drink, and then we used the restrooms before the movie, and all three of us were able to make it through just fine. I would encourage that. Don't do something that's going to make you want a restroom in the middle of the movie. There were a couple spots that maybe you could, but they were more towards the beginning of the movie. In the last half, you don't want to be getting up for any of it. That's for sure. So, but if you've seen any of the other Marvel movies, you'll know that they're good quality. And this is a very fitting conclusion. Lots of callbacks, lots of references, lots of times you're going, hey, wait a minute, that looks like this from that. And so very nicely done that way. I was very pleased overall. I will definitely want to go see it again. I'll probably go see it on a regular screen this time. I don't see why on earth I wouldn't buy this one when it comes out on disc. There's probably all sorts of stuff, background stuff on this one. It is kind of the end of an era. You're seeing this group cast get together, and they've done a fantastic job, and they've all become friends. And the one thing I will say, kind of on the side, you may have heard some utter some silliness out on the internet about how Brie Larson meshed with the cast. Brie Larson was not given much of an opportunity to mesh with the cast. And when you see the movie, you'll kind of see what I mean, but the clip she's in, she's either, there's just a very few where she's actually with the actual rest of the cast, so she didn't even get much of an opportunity to get to know them, let alone become part of the group. So for all the people out there saying, Brie Larson is not liked, yeah, shut up, you're dumb. Okay? So we'll just leave that at that. But otherwise, it's been kind of neat seeing how many of these people have really become close friends along the way, and they're given a very fitting send-off. So very pleased overall with the movie, and can't wait to go see it again. You can't wait till it's been out long enough that people are like, hey, we can actually talk about it now. I totally understand if you've seen Scarlett Johansson doing all these interviews and she can't talk about the movie. She's like, I hate this. I can't wait till it's out so I can talk because keeping secrets is terrible. I totally get what she's saying. So hopefully here in a couple weeks we can actually talk more openly about it and then start analyzing and, well, what about this and what about that? And in the scene, what was that and who was that? And so I can't wait till some of those things start coming out. Great movie. The one other thing I would let you know, there is no end credit scene on this one. There is a nice portion at the beginning of the credits, but there isn't a scene per se. It's just a very nice credit scene to close out. But nothing you need to wait around for at the end, unlike the others. So, all that with the movie, and what a great movie. I do have one other thing, and this is kind of a big announcement. This is actually something that we have been waiting on for quite a while. And you can see that this has actually come from China. It has a inventory label there, and there's 300 of these things. Yes, 300. Now I gotta try to open it up. And I forgot to grab a letter opener ahead of time. But that's okay. I have a screwdriver. So, I'm not totally out of luck. Ha! Some of you probably thought I was going to say something else. Aren't you disappointed? And if you didn't know what I was going to say, well, that's okay for you. So anyways, let me get this thing opened up, because I do want to let you know that my patrons are going to get theirs first. So those patrons who are giving $10 or more a month, is 10 or 20? Sorry, it's 20 a month, I believe. Get my own numbers right. If you go to Patreon, it is on there. My patrons will, who are given the proper amount, are going to get their pins first. And as we open this up, we have packing material first. And then we have 6 bags that look like this. Ooh. Ah. And I'll get to go through all of these. Yeah, 6 bags in here. And just looking at that, okay, I am excited. You can see the gold in there. These look... I can't wait to see this. So, and actually, these look really good. These look beautiful. So there is the SirWillow pin. Let me get it up in front of the camera so you can see it properly, and I will put a picture up there for you so you can get a really nice look. But that is what the new SirWillow pins look like. I've got a bunch of them here. It's got a very nice gold trim. It has a yellow rubber backing, and they will be starting to ship off here in the next couple of weeks. I've got a few orders to get out, and I'm going to be packaging and processing and shipping all these things myself, so it is going to take a little bit of time for me to get them out. But they will be coming. I will be carrying these with me in the parks and stuff now as well. Oh gosh, I'm so excited about that. That's just really cool. But I will be carrying some of them with me. If you want to order one of these, you can order them now. Prices might go up later, we'll see. But for right now, they're $10 for the first one if you live in the United States, $15 in Canada, and $20 international. That includes the shipping. And then each additional pin that you want is going to be another $7. And that will get you some of these little babies. Or if you meet me in the parks, check in with me. I will probably be carrying some of them. I can do some of those on the spot. Now, the money that I get from these is actually going to be paying my food and other expenses on the Disneyland California trip, or at least helping with it. So if you want to help me on my Disneyland trip, we've got the hotel, we've got the park tickets, we've got transportation, we've got that covered. So now we're looking at the food and other miscellaneous stuff that comes up. This is what is going to be funding that part of the trip. So please don't hesitate to order them. If you have any questions, drop me a note either in the comments below, or you can do it on the Facebook page. You can order through PayPal. There's a link in the description. There's also a link stickied on my Facebook fan page. That's the place to go with all the ordering information, and I will be getting those shipped out. So really exciting. And then, like I said, you can also get them at meet and greets too. So here are a few opportunities to meet me coming up. At the end of May, we are taking a trip out to Kentucky and St. Louis. So we will be at the Ark Encounter on May 20th, which is a Monday, and Creation Museum up in towards Cincinnati area on the 21st, the St. Louis Zoo on the 22nd, and Six Flags St. Louis on the 23rd from the morning to mid-afternoon or so. So no official meet and greet times with those. I will be out. I will be filming. I'll be exploring with my wife. It'll be just the two of us, so it's kind of a date weekend. So please understand if I'm not going, hey, let's hang out, because I'll be hanging out with my wife. Although it's Six Flags St. Louis, she can't do roller coasters anymore, so I'm happy to take a round or two on a coaster with you. We will also be in Florida at the end of July. So the last Saturday in July, we will be having a meet and greet at Disney Springs, and I will have pins with me at that one. And then we will also be at
Disneyland in October. So meet and greet there is actually going to be not at Disney, downtown Disney. There is another mall that's just off Harbor Boulevard. It's like a block over, not too far from Disney. Much cheaper parking for you. It is that first Saturday in October, though. We will be there. So put that on your calendar. And also, and this is the first time I'm mentioning it, and I will bring up a lot more, coming up in August, the end of August, I think it's the 17th, we are actually doing a fundraiser for Give Kids the World. This is where the Make-A-Wish kids and other groups stay at when they're in Florida. Give Kids the World is an awesome opportunity, an awesome organization. I've volunteered with them in the past. They are doing this event called Coasting for Kids, and we will actually be at Frontier City. I believe it's August 17th, and I will be there most of the day doing the Coasting for Kids Coastathon and raising funds. I firmly believe we can get at $500. There will be more information on that coming up and how you can support me with that. Oh, yes, and then Six Flags Over Georgia when we're coming back from Florida in August. So it will be August 6th, I believe. I will have those dates coming out. If you want to know dates and where I will be exactly and what time the meet and greets are, be sure to check my Facebook page. Everything will be on there for you. And so if you're not liking my Facebook fan page already, go do it now. That's where all the up-to-date information is on meet and greets and events and stuff like that. And hey, check the group too, because that's free for all sorts of stuff. That's Avengers. That's pins. That's meet and greets. That's all sorts of stuff for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear your feedback. Did you like Avengers? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you want a pin? Do you want to know more about pins? How about meet and greets and stuff? Share your comments below. Don't forget to hit like and share. Thanks so much for watching and subscribing. And thank you to my patrons for helping to make things like this possible. This is cool. I got my own pin. I can't believe it. Never thought I'd have my own pin. Wow. If you want to know whenever I have a new video out, well, hey, make sure you hit that button right there and subscribe. If you want to see another video right now, well, I've got a great one right here for you. And if you want to be like these wonderful people here and help support me financially on Patreon, well, check out that link right there and it'll take you to it. Thanks so much and God bless.